Hello, everybody, and welcome to our last episode of ICE TV. It has been, well, a lot of fun for me, and I certainly hope our guests, and even more so, I hope for those of you that have followed along on the journey and learned some new recipes. I know I've tried out some new ones. I have not yet done the infused champagne or the infused wine for that matter. But that is definitely on my list. So we have three very exciting guests for you today. Faces that you already know and love, I hope, as much as I do. And I am very happy to introduce my first guest to you. Rona Tison is the Executive Vice President of Corporate Relations at Itoen North America, Japan's #1 green tea brand and the world's leading purveyor of premium and sustainability grown green tea and healthy beverages. Itoen has received numerous awards to include recognition as one of 50 companies changing the entire world by Fortune for its commitment to sustainability and revitalization of tea farms. I know that the work that Itoen is fantastic, but they also make an excellent product as an aside. They are a company with purpose, not just for the planet and the people around them, but also for a delicious product. And that's kind of a match made in heaven. So, hello to my lovely friend, Rona. Hi, Rona.
Hello, Miss Shabnam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine. I'm very excited to be here with you again.
I'm so happy to see you, and I see some deliciousness in the background.
Well, of course. I mean, that's why we're here, right? Iced tea. Goodness.
It is indeed. Is it warm enough for in New York yet? Because
it is getting off and on, a little rain here and there, but it definitely. I mean, listen, iced tea anytime is
exactly.
So, and I wanted to. I mean, you of course know our brand, but I thought for many of the viewers, I wanted to share. We have our Oi Ocha brand. This was actually created in 1989 as the first unsweetened green tea. And so, the idea was that you can enjoy it on the go. And for the convenience, all it is, meticulously harvested green tea, provide water, vitamin C, no additives, nothing artificial. So it's just pure, delicious green tea, very refreshing for the summer. So, I actually take these to parties now for barbecues and all. Instead of wine, I take a bottle of this.
Perfect.
So today, I wanted to do the a green tea sangria, unsweetened, non-alcoholic. Now, and I say non-alcoholic. I'm actually a fan, of cocktails and spirits, but you can add into the sangria. But I thought, during the summer, you want something refreshing, clean, and you're probably out, doing water sports and volleyball and pickleball, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So, a little alcohol, maybe after. So, this alone is a perfect iced tea. You can chill it, put it in ice bucket, for barbecue. I mean, it's just on the go. You have it chilled in the refrigerator. But today I thought to do something, a little twist with it. Why not take advantage of the fabulous fruits that are in season?
Yeah.
So you have all the wonderful benefits of fruit.
Mm-hmm.
I have a selection of fruit on this recipe, but actually you can just use anything that's on the market, be inventive. So you can do this and pour it in your pitcher, or of course, Oi Ocha Itoen has our tea bags, and this can be done hot brew and cold brew. So you can actually cold brew your green tea unsweetened, which I, just give you an idea, which I've gone ahead and done right here.
Oh, brilliant.
Steeping the tea bags, and it doesn't take very long. I mean, honestly, you can do this like in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Cold brew, chill it if you like, and ideally having a pitcher.
Oh, so look at the color.
Cold brew green tea that I did with our Oi Ocha, and using this as a base, you can certainly add all sorts of. Here I have peach, cut up peach. Oh, you can't see here, but strawberries, sliced strawberries.
Gorgeous.
you really can be, you know,
I think it's
your
one of
own
the things
with your green tea here.
I love that. I think it's one of the things that I love about sangria is that obviously there are loads of recipes out there that you can follow, but the beauty of sangria is what you're doing, right? It's what is on hand. It's about fresh fruit and bright
Absolutely.
flavors.
Right. And I like putting, like, of course, kiwi is very rich in vitamin C. So I throw in kiwi, slices of oranges, and mint. Mint is nice too. So honestly, you can just add whatever suits your fancy. I actually had something in my refrigerator that I actually had been making a fruit salad. I had cherries and berries and all this, and it's sort of you got a little, how would you say, super ripe, but super sweet and juicy.
Yes.
So I pour that in this as well.
Oh, perfect. That's a really good idea. You know what? That's a really good idea because so many people throw away, well-intentioned vegetables and fruits. And to be able to add fruit into something like this is perfect.
Absolutely. So, you can be creative. And of course, the health benefits of green tea, which you of all people know. I mean, we've got the catechins, antioxidants, L-theanine, which gives you that sense of calm. Vitamin C, it helps with good cardiovascular health. I mean, the list is endless. And why not? So combined with the benefits of fabulous fresh fruit and green tea, and it looks awfully pretty, right? You can put it in a little wine glass. You can just garnish it with whatever suits your fancy or what you have in your garden.
Yep.
And then what I like about this, if you really want to go, is,
oh my goodness, look at you.
I know, I went all the way out, didn't I? I'm having a party after. But
I hope you're having a party.
Yeah. So again, you can continue adding, and if you want, you can add, it's got the spout on there. So, you can do this with just 2 glasses if you like. You can add a little sparkling soda to it. If you want a little sweet, and some people like a little sweet, so you can add honey or maple sugar, whatever is convenient. But I think it's so great because, to be able to be on the go, and all people know, I mean, we have our Oi Ocha in cans as well. We have the single serve. We have jasmine's also delicious to do a sangria. That is really yummy.
That would be delicious in that pitcher with fruit.
But these tea bags are so great to just, travel with. And literally in 3 minutes, steep it, cold brew, hot. And then maybe if you have a little puffy eyes, you can also put the green tea on your eyes. We women, right?
So it's tea, it's a snack, and it's a beauty regimen.
Thank you very much. Exactly. And inner beauty, because it is good for the skin as well. But honestly, I think, it's just such a great summer beverage. It's clean, it's refreshing, it's got the benefits, and it doesn't have all that, these ingredients that you can't really.
Sugar and preservative.
Exactly. Pronounce.
Stuff you can't pronounce.
Right.
It's usually a pretty good rule that if you're looking at the ingredient list, if you can't pronounce it, you might want to stay away from it.
That's kind of my motto. And that's why, I have to say our teas have really been so well received now. People are really thinking about, alternative beverages, but, something convenient on the go. They can throw in your backpack, on your way to yoga, chilled. And really, that was the whole purpose. I think Ito Wan has done so well is really pioneering the first unsweetened, and then to be able to have it, have that optimal moment of enjoyment. And so we love it. We've got hoji cha, which is a roasted green tea.
I love your hoji cha.
And I think sangria. I mean, I'm a big fan of sangria, and trust me, I may add wine sometime. But honestly, in the summer when you're out in the sun, when you have a little wine or whatever, I mean, it's fun to be festive and all that. But I think you probably enjoy, the activities and everything with a virgin sangria.
Mocktail. I'll tell you what I love about this. There has been a huge rise, as you know, in is what's called the sober curious movement, right?
Yes.
So people that aren't necessarily cutting out alcohol completely, they might enjoy it occasionally, but they've cut back on it, or they're looking for low alcohol alternatives.
Right.
And, I think that they still want to celebrate. They still want to do something festive.
Absolutely.
And they don't necessarily want something that's full of sugars. So this is a great, great, great alternative. And as you say, serve it in something that's festive. I mean, I've said this before. It doesn't have to be in a tumbler. It can be in a champagne flute. It can be in a coupe. It can be in a martini glass. It can be in a wine glass. Like, get out, and the same thing that you would do if you would put alcohol in it, do the same thing for somebody that doesn't want alcohol.
No, absolutely. And these big jugs here, I mean,
they're perfect.
It's now like if you go into a spa or something. So it's a inexpensive, a good investment. And when you have gatherings, and even during holidays, I mean, you can add cranberries and make it more Christmassy. Not just outdoor summer activity. So it's kind of a feel good beverage, and if you put it in something fancy like this, it feels even better, right?
Even better. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love your product, but not just because it tastes good, but I really love the fact that it's unsweetened.
Well, thank you.
It's talk about the health benefits of tea, which we can shout from the
it really is.
Endless. Shout from the rooftops every single day. And sometimes we counter that by having things that are overly sweetened and overly processed. And this is just going back to the roots, taking a good product and chilling it. It's really that simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. Right.
And Itoan also does matcha. Yeah. And so if you want to kind of sprinkle or blend in matcha as well, you can do that.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why you shouldn't be drinking green tea, number one, and to really enjoy the purity of the taste. And it really has such a clean finish. Yeah. And I think that's, in summer, that's what you want.
Yeah. And to think of green teas iced, right? Because we tend to think of black teas and fruit teas and those things, but green teas make absolutely fantastic. And I love personally, this, your matcha travel stick packs.
Oh yes, the sticks, the matcha love sticks are so great. I have them in my wallet, believe it or not. And so they are great. You can just kind of put them
in a water bottle.
Exactly. So and the fact is, I think just the fact that people often think tea bags are just for hot weather and hot tea, and that you can very simply prepare a cold brew on your own. It's really special.
So just something that I wanted to emphasize for everybody is that the tea bag that you said cold brew, it's important for people to understand that as you mentioned, that happens really, really quickly. It's done in a matter of 3 minutes. You can't take a regular tea bag and do a cold brew in 3 minutes. So for anybody listening, these products, and you heard it here today, you heard it last week from Cindy when she was talking about the cold brew teas from Bigelow, and also from Stephen Twining the week before that with theirs. There are lots of companies that are now making specifically cold brew bags. So they've been developed to steep quickly in cold water, and B, they are absolutely safe and good and healthy to do.
Right. And they're not messy. I think that, we certainly all would love to do the loose leaf tea, but sometimes, you're on the go, you're traveling.
Yeah.
You want something simple and easy, and we do that for you. So
there's a time for everything.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So happy iced tea, Ms. Shabnam, and thank you always for, including us in this special month. And I hope that everybody will experience Oi Ocha, which means, tea please, or it's time for tea. It's kind of a colloquial saying, but, this is definitely something to always have. I'm actually having a 100th birthday party for my mother next month, and I'm actually going to be having this there for the guests.
That is fantastic.
Yes. So I think she's been drinking lots of green tea. So
which is how you're celebrating 100. Well, congratulations. I'm sure I'll talk to you before then. Big hug to you.
Likewise.
And I got to tell you, I love that that's what you take to parties or to somebody's house.
Goodness. and it came because I used to live in Sonoma in the wine country years ago. And of course, you're in wine country and invited to parties. I thought, well, everybody takes wine. I'm going to start taking and it was such a big hit.
Yep.
The jasmine, the green, you take one flavor of each and you put in a wine glass and it's
perfect.
Refreshing.
Yeah.
I think wine is good. I'm not going to say not good.
No. There's nothing wrong with wine. Believe me, you and I both love our wine, but it's just nice to have something different. I had a friend come to my house about a month ago, and she brought me a mango.
Oh, really?
Rona, it was the best mango I've ever tasted in my entire life.
Oh, my God.
This was not an ordinary mango. And as you being Japanese, you understand the beauty of excellent fruit, right? This is the best mango I've ever had, and
that was a special gift. So yes,
the best.
A very thoughtful gift.
Yeah, different.
Well, good. Well, thank you, Ms. Shabnam, and
happy Rona.
We'll be following all your other little guests, and thank you for always talking tea. We love that.
Thank you, Rona. Thank you for giving us a great product to talk about.
Thank you.
Take care.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Bye-bye. Bye. All right. Delicious. So listen, you can find Itowan's product truly absolutely anywhere. And as I said before, if you don't find it in your grocery store, go online. I mean, everything is available at this point online. And really simple and delicious. Plus, it's a great company. So, having said that, let us pivot to another great company, and that is MysTea and Anne Ricard. Anne is a certified TAC tea sommelier professional and the co-owner of MysTea Sherbrooke, a specialty tea shop that was founded over a decade ago. I can't believe it's been a decade. Anne has appeared on Dans l'œil du dragon, the French Dragon's Den, and just this year was awarded the Environmental Consciousness Trophy by the Chamber of Commerce of the Eastern Townships. Hi, Anne. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. And you?
I'm good. It's so nice to see you.
Yeah, you too. I'm so happy. It's the iced tea month. It's a crazy month here.
That's exciting. I see is that new product on your table next to you?
Oh, yes.
Yes. My eye is spotting something new.
We developed our little babies. So we have a little 4 kinds of iced tea. So first, 100% Quebec iced tea. So we've made 4 different kinds. They got herbal teas, green tea, black tea, and this is now available in like 150 points in Quebec right now. So we are moving Ontario soon enough. So this is going really well. So that's why I chose that today to make a little cocktail actually for a demonstration of iced tea month.
I love that. But before you do that, tell us about the product. Is it carbonated?
No, it's really a iced tea. So there is no, it's not spring carbonated. Yeah, like that's it. And it's, we got 4 different kinds, not much sugar. This is kind of low sugar, but there's no stevia inside, because a lot of people, what they do is they put stevia inside and they say, well, it's a low sugar thing, but it does have a taste. Eh?
I hate stevia. I cannot stand the taste of artificial sweetener. To me,
it's really not for everyone.
Either put it in or don't put it in at all. Okay, so thank you. Okay.
So this is like 10 grams a cup of sugar. So it's really not much, but it's enough to everyone to enjoy it. We've made 4 different kinds.
Yeah.
We've started because I'm a green tea lover. That's my brand.
Yeah.
I love green tea. So I've started with the bluberry mojito. So we prepared a mix that is going to be like a mojito with lime and a hint of mint. But with the blueberry, it just comes to life altogether. Really refreshing, antioxidant, all 100% natural. There's nothing artificial about that. And really low sugars. It's really, really nice. We've made our the one tea, more classic, but we add grapefruit and raspberry. So it's a zing and a fruity taste. It's perfect to
nice.
give you a little bit of boost in the afternoon.
Yep.
Tea.
Nice.
And I made 2 herbal teas because it kinds to be really, really popular right here. People who don't want any caffeine, or children, things like that. 2 completely different one. We got, those are berry lemonade. So citrus and berry, strawberry mostly. So really, really refreshing. And my second favorite, I have to say that I have favorites. I couldn't. It's a passion fruit and pomegranate. So the mix is unbelievable.
I love that. I cannot wait to try them. Okay, so make us what you're going to make us.
Oh. Yeah, I call it a 2-minute bubble tea or 2-minute cocktail. People can do that because it's already all flavored. It's already ready to drink, So it's really easy. I've made cocktails today, but you can do exact same thing without any alcohol. It's really, your choice. Yep. But it's going to be pretty simple. So you just add ice to a shaker. I chose some pretty special alcohol for the first one. We're going to do the blueberry mojito here. And I discovered it's a sapphire gin. It's a blueberry gin. And people would have think that it's too much blueberry, but it is perfect. Okay. And I'm going to pour it to this because I want you to see it's blue. It's beautiful. And it has a really nice color. Yeah. So I just add a little ounce of that with my ice, and we're going to boost the lime a little bit. So I'm adding a few pieces of lime right here. And we are going to mix it with our little can. It's a very cold one here. Cold is always better for the iced tea. So it depends on what you like. You can add more or less, but it's a really easy cocktail to make. And I like it with a little bit of bubbles that I prepared at the end. You're going to see that. So I'm going to shake that really just quick. Just give it a shot. So it mixes really well with everything. Here we go. So I add, everything is beautiful when it's a nice, a nice glass. So we have ice that we're going to put in that. And we're going to add a couple of pieces of lime on the top. You can add fresh mint too if you want, but there's already the zing of the mint inside my ready to drink. So everything is there for the flavor. And I have some lemon fruit bubbles. The bubble tea, it's really nice here, but this is also made with real fruit puree. So this is less of being really liquid inside, creamier. So it coats your mouth really well. So this is amazing. And it's still from Quebec now. So we don't have to import it right now. It's Canadian. It's done here. So I'm really happy. So what I do is I add a little of lemon. You can add blueberries whatever flavor you like. But I tend to not mix too much flavors and just go for it. We go. So, my smells amazing. This is what I call refreshment. It's cold. It's
perfect.
Little mint full, and this is the cocktail. 2-minute cocktail. It's done to be really easy to make, not complicated at all. This is my mojito blue.
Super, super easy and fast. Okay. And what's your second one? Are you doing 2 for us today? Oh, and you keep freezing up. Hello? Hello? Anne, are you there?
Let me check that. Oh, it's back. Yay!
Okay, there, you're back. Okay.
I'm sorry. We're a lot of people here. So sorry again. So this was my green tea, blueberry mojito one.
Perfect.
So I chose my second favorite one. The red passion. is a pomegranate and passion fruit iced tea. And it's a herbal tea, actually. So there's hibiscus to make it a bright red and really, little tingling sensations. Really, really nice. So I've chose really plain and classical vodka because it tends to go with everything. And, I've tried many things. But hibiscus and vodka are best friends. It always goes together. Really nice base.
Okay.
So what I do is I'm going to do it my ice again. We have some classical vodka to put with it. But adding fruits, the woman before was talking about adding fruit all the time and everything. Yes. And one thing is really nice about fruit pomegranate, like in the whole, it's beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
It's nice. And it goes in your straw. When you have a bubble tea straw with a bigger straw, it just goes in. It's perfect. Yes. So I always do that. So little vodka here. As I said, you can skip that if you want a virgin or a mocktail version of it. And it's already, everything is ready to drink. So it's not much. That's why it's called a 2-minute cocktail, 2-minute mocktail. Really, really easy. But I still liked a little bit of a more acidic. When I make my cocktails, I always add a little bit of lime and we shake it. Of course, if you don't want to shake it, it's okay to make it right straight to the glass, But if you can, it's always a little fun to have a little shaker. I have a nice glass. And
beautiful.
We want ice. We want fruits. Going to be beautiful because we drink and eat with our eyes,
Absolutely.
So when it's beautiful, it's easy. But in 2023, we are, fast people. We always go fast. So that's why we like those ones because they're easy, ready to drink. So I'll add little pomegranate that are going to be able to pass in my bubble tea straw if I like. Yeah. So this is beautiful. I love it. And
very pretty.
I have some Quebec little bubbles still with a passion fruit puree inside.
Okay.
And those are amazing. Here it smells tropical right now. It's amazing. So I'm going to add a little bubble or a lot.
Or a lot.
And we have the drink ready to pour. As I said, really easy, really fast. Oh my God.
Isn't that pretty?
Really beautiful.
That's the red from the hibiscus. Gorgeous. Very nice.
So it's a pinkish red. So, and you have like all the fruit at the bottom. So of course you can go away and add some other fruits, other pieces of fruit you want. You can make a picture with it. But it's a 2-minute ready to drink, something easy and really refreshing.
I love it.
This
and like I said to Rona, you've got a beverage and you've got a snack all in your glass.
Absolutely, it's like a fruit salad at the same time. It's really easy, and we've made them. It's now available online too. We work a lot for the look and everything. We are also working on new ideas because we're thinking, beer and tea are also really nice friends.
Yep.
So I'm working a little bit with some friend of mine here that have beer company, and we are trying to make something really pop. So we're going to tell you that later. But this is something really new. Just give me a second. I'm just going to.
Oh my goodness, we're getting a sneak peek.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so sorry. So I'm really
very
optimistic
proud of you, Anne.
in the next year.
I'm so proud of you, Anne.
Yeah, we've gone a long way, but
you've come a long way. I remember. So for those of you listening, Anne was actually one of my students. For the tea sommelier program. So I remember when you started, Anne, before you started your business and where you are now, and I send you a big hug. I'm so proud of you.
Uh, I send you a big hug too. And those ones are now available in grocery stores. We're really, really proud of that because it's not always easy, but online everything is available. So, and I also put some recipe with that. We have some. It's a farm. It's a strawberry farm that we have really close here. And what she does is she take our red passion and she puts a it's a strawberry popsicle, all
Yes.
handmade that she made herself, and she put it inside and she called it like a pop tea, a tea pop,
Gorgeous.
because it's a pop.
Yeah.
And she
Gorgeous.
put it,
Yeah.
it's melting inside. Oh, it's so good. Really, really good mix. So the ideas are pouring here.
Well, lack of ideas. I'm really, really proud of you, and I look forward to trying your product. And a big kiss to you, and also give your dad one. Give each other a kiss on the cheek from me and a hug, okay?
Yes, you have a nice day. Thank you for inviting me today. I'm really happy. Sorry again for my accent. It's not perfect because I'm French, but
please, couple up.
Not that bad.
It's
okay. You have a nice day. Thank you.
You too.
Nice
you too, Anne. Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, that made me happy. So it really, I've known Anne since long before she had MysTea, and when she was just studying to be a tea sommelier. So to see people, embrace a passion for something that I love, and a lot of people around me love, and to take that and create something and see where it is 10 years later makes my heart happy. So it is actually a great pleasure to end our iced TV and iced tea month extravaganza with the delightful Chris MacNitt. Chris is the tea development lead global tea for Starbucks Coffee Company. His experience spans across aspects of the tea industry in manufacturing, sensory quality control, regulatory, and product development. If you've had the great pleasure of listening to Chris in any of the seminars that he's given at World Tea Expo, or even for us at the North American Tea Conference, you'll know that he's not only a pleasure to listen to, but also always has some really, really special ideas to share with us. So, hello, lovely Chris. How are you?
It's so good to see you, Shabnam. How are you doing?
I'm really good. It's nice to see you as well. What deliciousness are you concocting for us today?
So I thought, you are the Tea and Herbal Association of Canada. So obviously I needed to do something that had both tea and herbs in it.
Okay.
And so I created a little beverage that I'm calling a matcha passion Palmer. So it's a take on an Arnold Palmer using matcha and passion iced tea. And so that's what I'm going to be making for you today. The reason I chose matcha is because matcha is one of those fast growing segments of the tea industry. And, I drink it every morning in a bowl, not dissimilar to this ceremonial bowl here. So I figured, why not make something that incorporated kind of a daily ritual for me, but also has a lot of tartness and some sweetness to it. And I think that, lemon and hibiscus and passion really work really well with the flavors that you get from matcha, the florals and the vegetation and all of that. So that's what I'm going to make for you today.
So, Chris, are you an iced tea? You're in the U.S. for full disclosure for everybody listening. And the U.S. does do the majority of their tea iced, not hot. Are you an iced tea drinker?
I am not typically an iced tea drinker.
Okay.
So I am the hot tea. So understanding that I grew up in Florida where it's 80 degrees all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. I just drank hot tea no matter what. That being
really?
Yeah.
Even then?
Yeah, even then. You just drank hot tea. And so I think that it's really lovely, though, because I always am hosting people. This is the time that we have really for for hosting people, and it's sunny here in Seattle. And
Yeah.
so this is really the time of year where you're having guests over and things like that. And so generally speaking, I like to have something iced tea related on hand,
Yeah.
obviously tea guy. And so, you know, you gotta have your tea.
Kind of an expectation.
Yeah, it's an expectation at this point. So,
Yes.
so this is one of the things that I would serve to people in who are at my place, and you know, sitting on the rooftop looking at the Olympic Mountains or whatever view it is.
Oh.
So it's a nice
So
view.
do I hear an invitation? Hang on, was that what I just heard?
No,
Was that an
anytime.
invitation?
You're welcome. We are in our tea cupping room. So this is where all the global Starbucks tea kind of flows through this room. So we have our mighty team is cupping behind me. They're doing some good work behind me while I have fun with you right now. So
I love cupping rooms anywhere I go. They're really, I think they're the best rooms in tea companies.
yeah, I'm a huge fan of cupping rooms in general, and this one specifically. So.
I bet. All right, Chris, show us what you're going to make for us.
Yep. So we're just going to make a simple paste with the matcha, right? We want it to declump and make sure that we have a nice smooth experience. I also like to, when I'm making the matcha, I'm using room temperature water. Sometimes I like to heat the water up if you're having a hard time with the clumps. A lot of that to me is whisk dependent. So if you have a more expensive whisk, generally you can get away with colder temperature water and still get that nice frothy micro foam. So that's what I'm doing right now, making sure that that's nice and smooth.
So while you're doing that, let me explain to everybody what you mean by more expensive whisk. So the whisks that are used for the whisks that are used for the matcha whisking is made out of one piece of bamboo. So the bamboo is the piece that Chris has between his thumb and his index finger, and all of those prongs are carved out of that one single piece of bamboo. Okay. So understand, anybody who's watching, when you're buying one of these, the more expensive ones have more prongs on it. The less expensive ones obviously have less on them. But it is truly a skill to be able to create all of that out of that one single piece that is not made out of multiple pieces of bamboo. Thanks.
Yeah, the other thing I would say is that when you're starting out, one of the things that I like to tell people when they're looking at whisks is look at how soft it is. If it has a little bit of give, it's going to make it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
The stiffer it is, the harder it is to get that micro foam. And you will notice the difference immediately if you compare two whisks side by side.
That's a really good tip. That's a really, really good tip. And then technique-wise, it's all on the wrist. It's not a this movement for anybody who's tried to do it. All right, you're not stirring matcha, you're whisking it, and it's exactly what Chris is doing. It's a back and forth wrist movement. It sounds complicated, and I think sometimes we try to make it sound it's not. It's a pretty simple process.
A W or M motion is generally the way that is
exactly
commonly taught when you're just starting out in kind of the tea ceremony space. So I have my matcha prepared. So now I'm going to ice my cup here. So obviously we're just going to pull the ice, and then I'm going to drop my lemonade in here.
Okay, that's perfect. So one of the things that I do all the time with my iced teas is exactly that. I mix juice, quite often lemonade, with the tea. So it's you have your built-in sugar and added flavor.
And when I think about it, is you and I will go and drink straight teas all day long. Sometimes it's nice to I don't know, let your hair down and have a little fun with it. So tea is meant to be fun. So then I'm going to layer on some passion here. And so you can see that divided layer right there.
So tell everybody what that is.
So this is passion iced tea. So this is the passion that we use in our store. Any sort of hibiscus. I like hibiscus-based teas, particularly as they relate to with matcha. And so I'm using the Starbucks lemonade and the Starbucks passion iced for this.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm creating this layer. So you kind of have this mid layer. And so I'm creating the layer, and then the last layer will be We will just float on top some matcha.
Oh, pretty.
And I like a little extra matcha, so I'm just going to continue to layer that on there.
That's gorgeous. And so it's from that whisking that Chris managed to get that foam that you're seeing on the top, huh?
Yeah, and that crema is entirely the micro foam that's made from the whisk. And I really that's like my favorite part. It's like the pre-dessert of the beverage. And so I kind of view it as like, you have this party down below. And so I drink it straight like this, or you can mix it up if you want more of a homogenized flavor. But really, I like the layering. I like the incorporation of both the green tea, the herbs, and the lemonade. It makes for a really fun and festive, summery beverage for everyone. I also like a lot of acid. And so it has malic acid, citric acid. It really creates a very tantalizing and tangy experience in the cup and for anyone who's enjoying it wherever they may be. So
I love it. And, for anybody who's done any kind of food pairing with teas, et cetera, that especially the Japanese green teas pair really well with seafood, but citrus, right? So the sweet and also the sour and the tart, they do really, really well with it. It's that umami vegetal grassiness that balances really, really nicely with, I would imagine lemonade would be perfect.
And I feel like with lemonade, in particular, the Japanese green teas, they get a little bit more floral. You get a little bit more of the floral the way it expresses itself is slightly more floral. And so you get a little bit of a different complexion where when we're talking about uji, traditional uji teas, you're talking about very umami, generally you're talking about, oceanic flavor profiles as well. Umami, oceanic, those don't necessarily lend themselves to a North American palate per se, but you start throwing in a few other things and now you've just made it super accessible. And at the end of the day, that's what, I view as the most important is teas for everyone. We just haven't found the right one if you're not a tea drinker yet. And if you are, welcome to the club. So
once we've pulled you in, you can't get out anymore.
Yeah. What's that line?
Every time I try to get out, they pull me back in. I'll tell you funny. I was talking to somebody a few weeks ago about the tea industry that we're kind of like the mafia. Every time I try to leave, they pull me back in.
Yeah, absolutely.
No one leaves.
Yeah, no one leaves. You're in for life. You're
in for life. You just don't know that before you enter. But I think what was something that you just said is really, really important. I mean, I know we say it in jest, and I say it as well, that, if you don't like tea, it's only because you haven't found one that you like yet. There's one out there, I promise, because there's so many different flavor profiles. But I think the piece that you just said that's really, really important is that sometimes we need to, everybody out there who's got a tea company, a tea business, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to think about how to make products sometimes accessible for your customers, right? I mean, I might like my matcha straight, you might like your matcha straight, but my customers may not yet be there because as you say, our Western palates, bitter and those types of oceanic flavors are not things that we associate on a positive. We're just not conditioned that way for whatever reason.
And think about the journey. I've been doing things relative to the tea. My parents, as my parents started a tea company when I was 8. So back when we do the green markets, way back in the day, you saw people go on a tea journey. They'd start out with a flavored black tea, a mango Ceylon, and then, a couple of years later, you're looking and they're like, wow, you're buying Oriental Beauty, you're buying high-end Oriental Beauty and, pre-Qingming Dragonwell. This is a very stark contrast, right? Yeah. And as long as you build those steps along the way, you can bring people along the journey and give people pathways to go, because sometimes people just don't know, I think as an industry, sometimes we take for granted that people don't know, and that we can help to guide and really bring people along in our discovery. And obviously, this is a industry and a perpetual learning opportunity for all of us. So, I'm still learning, and I've been doing it for a really long time. So it's the beautiful thing about what we do and get to do and share every single day.
So when I had my tea company, I would generally say that I was actually in the business of education. Tea just happened to be the conduit.
Fair enough. That is,
right?
that feels apropos.
Yeah, it is, and it is about a journey, and it is about, how to get people into that place. And maybe they won't. Maybe they're quite happy in this place as well, and that's okay. It's about, coming at it not from a place of judgment that, what, that's for you, and that is absolutely okay. But if you do want to come on the journey, here it is, versus this is the creme de la creme, and if you don't like this, then, we don't want to have anything to do with you, right? There's this whole spectrum.
It's the access. It's not It's not the requirement. You're not required to go on a journey, but you're welcomed if you just decide to go on one. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Chris. I love, there are a lot of things that you've done here that I really love. I love the lemonade part of it because I do that as well. But then layering another fruit, I guess you could take, you can take any one of your favorite botanical fruit teas out there. Most, I'm going to say 99% of fruit blends have hibiscus in it, which is how you're going to get that nice red that Chris has. So you may not have access to Starbucks' inventory like Chris does, but there are lots and lots of flavor, different types of berry teas out there that you can layer. And then the best part is that you've taken something that is very traditional, very ceremonial, done it in a traditional way, and then layered it into fun. So I think it's just the marriage of perfect worlds. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, Shabnam.
All right. It was good seeing you.
Always good to see you.
Soon. I think we'll see each other probably in October next, maybe.
My guess is that will be happening for sure.
All right. Well, then we have a date in Miami. All right, Chris. It was good seeing you. Take care.
Good to see you as well, Shabnam. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. And you know what? With that, I'm going to segue into one of the recipes that we've done because, the segue being Chris's matcha. I'm going to show you a quick clip of our matcha freezer pop, and I'll be right back. Well, my lovelies, it has been a lot of fun to share Iced Tea Month with you. I hope you picked up a couple of tips and some ideas. I think that some of the takeaways for me was preparing things in advance and making things easy. Sometimes it doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it can be as easy as making yourself a pot of tea, pouring it into an ice tray and popping that in the fridge. Have an ice tray with frozen, tea cubes inside of it, and then pop that into a glass and pour some sparkling water on top of it, and zim-zalabim, you have an iced tea. So it doesn't have to be complicated. There's so many products out there, from cold brew tea bags that, companies are specifically making for the purpose of cold brewing things really simply and easily and quickly. Fruits, mixing fruits inside of your products and using things that you can buy in the grocery store, but also fresh products like fresh mints and herbs that you can take from your own garden and put into it. The whole idea, though, whatever route you take into this, is have some fun with your teas. There are so many products from some fantastic companies that are available to all of us. They're available either in your local grocery store, in your local specialty shop, or online. If you're fortunate enough to be around a tea shop, then go visit them. There is nothing that tea shops love more than to be able to share this fantastic world of tea with you. So with that, I say thank you. Thank you for sharing the last few weeks with me. Thank you to every single one of my wonderful guests, as always, for surprising me and giving me new ideas as well. I look forward to seeing you. I think we'll see each other probably in November again with Entertaining with Tea. Until then, if you've missed any of our previous episodes, you'll find them on our YouTube channel. Also, with every episode, if you just scroll down underneath, you will find the recipes for all of the deliciousness that our guests have shared with you the last few weeks. Thanks all, and enjoy the gorgeous weather. And of course, I hope you do that with a mocktail, a cocktail, or just a nice cold glass of